Hello and welcome to the low budget review show. So low budget that I just have a piece of paper that I wrote on as my title card. I'm your host, Eric Smith, and once again, I'm here to talk about a book that I read and loved and want to pass on, and hopefully more people will read it and love it. First of all, I'm a big fan of mashup genres. I'm not talking about the big mashup craze that happened a few years ago with Sense and Sensibility and Zombies and Android Karenina and books like that. Talking about something that's been going on for quite some time, which is just a general genre mashup. I like science fiction noir, especially android detectives or robot detectives are always good. There's some really good fantasy mysteries out there. I may talk about a couple of those in another review. I always glance over at the books that I'm thinking of when I'm talking here. So I've got a couple over there, fantasy mysteries that are really good. But my favorite of the mashups is horror westerns. I'm not sure what it is that makes those two go together so well. Um, Maybe it's that back in the day, people didn't have cars and cell phones and all these modern conveniences that almost get in the way of horror sometimes. Um, because if you're watching a horror movie, reading a horror novel, especially nowadays, you tend to say, why didn't they just grab their cell phone and call somebody? Or jump in the car and drive away or whatever. And a good author, a good filmmaker will have a reason for that. Um, But back in the Old West, you didn't have that. If you were lucky, a town had a telegraph, or you could jump on a horse. Um, but even that necessarily is going to be enough to save you. So, the horror western I want to talk about today is Dust Devils by Jonathan Janz. Um, and this is the story of, I have to check the names here just to make sure. Cody Wilson is the main character, along with 12-year-old Willet Black. Cody Wilson is a farmer, I guess, has his own ranch. And no spoilers here because it's right on the back of the book. His wife is killed by vampires. Um, and he's out for revenge. One of the things I really like about this book is it starts right in the middle of the action. Uh, there are a number of ways to tell a story, obviously. Sometimes you've got the slow build. The author is going to establish a lot of stuff before he really gets to the scares. Just off the top of my head, Pet Cemetery, Salem's Lot, something like that, where the character is established and you come to care for the character. And you know, because you're reading a horror novel, something bad is going to happen, and it builds that tension. Uh, then you have a book like this, where it just starts right in the middle of the action. Um, and this starts with Cody on a cliff looking at the vampires eating some people. And we learn Cody's story and what led up to this point through some flashbacks and memories and such. While he's on that cliff, Cody sees little Willet Black. It's his family being eaten. Again, not really spoilers if it's in the first 10 pages. So, um, so Cody and Willet team up. They want to take out the vampires who are posing as a traveling troupe of entertainers who go from town to town, putting on a show and killing people because they're vampires. That's what vampires do. So I really like this book. There's a lot of action. It's very gruesome and bloody. The characters are interesting. Cody is not some gunfighting superhero. He's just a farmer pushed to the breaking point, and he knows, or at least thinks he knows, maybe knows, that he's not going to survive. He just wants his revenge. I mean, he would like to live, but he's willing to do whatever it takes to destroy the monsters that took his wife. Um, And the majority of the action takes place in a single town where the vampire troupe has gone to perform their show and feast. And it's, as I said, it's bloody, it's violent, it's interesting, it's got great characters. I like Jonathan Janz' writing style. Um, he keeps things moving along. He has good characters. You're going to care about them. You're going to cry for them. You know, if you're the crying type. I don't cry about that. It's just a book. But it's horror. Not everybody's going to make it out alive. Is that a spoiler? I don't know. But Dust Devils. Oh, it's Sam Hain Publishing. I like a lot of their stuff. Try to keep up with what they're doing. It's a relatively new publisher, sort of, my opinion, sprung from the ashes of leisure horror. And they put out some pretty good stuff. Not everything is a winner with them. I've read a few that I think are bombs, but I'm here to talk about positive stuff, books I like, not books I don't like. So that's why I'm talking about Dust Devils and not some of those other books. So good Western action, good horror action, good bloody, disgusting horror action. Not the most gruesome horror, because I'm not talking about Edward Lee or Wrath James White here, but a little more gruesome than some people might like. Yeah, I suppose it can get kind of bloody. These are the kind of excuse me. These are the kind of vampires that I like. They're monsters. They are. They look human most of the time, but they are mean, vicious creatures. They're not mopey, emo vampires. They would just as soon rip your throat out as they will wax poetic about their immortal existence. I like my monsters to be monstrous, and they certainly are in this book. I always like to keep showing the covers of these books, just to remind you of what you should be reading. Come on, pick up some Jonathan Janz, pick up Dust Devils, Cody Willett's interesting character, and I'm looking at the back cover just to make sure I haven't missed anything. It has been a little while since I read this. I really need to do these videos a little more often, and maybe as soon as I finish the book, do the video. That would make sense. But hey, this is low budget. What do you expect? See, that's what it says right here. So anyway, Dust Devils, horror western, one of the best I've read in a long time. I unfortunately have not seen Sam Hain in any bookstores. I don't know why. Barnes and Noble's, at least the one around here, doesn't seem to carry it, which is horrible. I would pick them up off the shelf if they had them, but I order mine through Amazon. I keep up on the authors that I like, and I'm always just checking Sam Hain's publishing schedule to see if there's anything new, anyone I haven't heard of. So go to your favorite bookstore, ask them to carry it, or go to your favorite website where you order your books and pick up a copy. And that's it. Please leave any comments, corrections, or questions in the comments section down below. And that's it for this time. Read more books.